Hey everybody, welcome. It is Wednesday, I think, at least my parts, and we are looking at kind of waiting for this cube to drop on Friday. Updated Magic the Gathering Arena Cube is going to become available then. So our Friday event, our Friday chat Gauntlet event is going to be with the official new Magic the Gathering Arena Cube put out by Wizards of the Coast. However, today, after once again some very narrow votes, by one vote, Ikoria was defeated again in favor of doing something with viewers, and we narrowed that down to a cube draft of our own. We're going to do uncommons and commons only, a Peasant cube. And one nice thing about doing a Peasant cube in a spot like this is that by not needing any rare or mythic wild cards, it's extremely inexpensive, basically free, to use Peasant cubes on Magic the Gathering Arena to draft with your buddies, because you'll see today, we're gonna use an external site called mtgadraft.herokuapp.com, which we'll put in the notes, and I'm sure someone out there is linking for me right now in the chat. But basically, it allows us to draft cubes. You can make your own custom sets. You could like remaster. I keep threatening to do this, but haven't had the bandwidth. But basically, you could remaster an entire set or create your own set and upload that to test draft on Heroku app. And it's a great way to get some extra drafting in for no extra cost, because Heroku app doesn't cost you anything. You export your decks to Arena. You already have the cards over there. You use the challenge system with buddies to challenge your friends, and boom, you are drafting on Arena, in pod, playing in pod, and paying $0 for it. That is a crazy value, and I love it. If you want a crazy value for your tabletop experience, though, Card Kingdom will help you with that. They can't really help you with Heroku app drafting, but boy, if you want to get a draft going with your own cube at home, Card Kingdom is a great place for you to find the cards for that. We've been doing another thing we started yesterday. We're building a cube together on this stream. Yesterday, we laid down some ground rules and some early color pair directional ideas, and then we really started naming some staple cards that were really inexpensive, because we're going to do a bargain cube. We want to do a cube, a whole cube, $100 or less. And I think that with Card Kingdom's incredible stock and wide variety of 25-cent cards, it's not going to be difficult to create an excellent fun cube with rares, with mythics even, that is great and under $100. So we're going to work on that together some more as we stream in the next couple weeks, and that's going to be something I'm going to then hopefully just buy from Card Kingdom, and then I'll show you the physical cube that we get. That's going to be great, and I want to thank Card Kingdom for being my sponsor. And if you're going to buy physical Magic stuff, check them out, and check them out via my affiliate link in the panels. That lets them know you got there from here and helps me stay on the air. So thanks for that, Card Kingdom. And let's head over now. I don't even know who I'm playing against yet. We're really freestyling it here. I'm going to jump over to, before I even jump over, because I don't want to spoil the name of the link or whatever, I'm going to ask people right now to jump in, but here's how I want it. This is kind of like boarding an aircraft, okay? You do it in sequences, right? So when the link goes up, the only people I want to insta-click on the link, if you're like waiting and pouncing, it's because you've never played me on air before. If you've never been able to join in this, and this is your first opportunity to be able to do so, go ahead. Second that link shows up, click it. Then, after even 2-3 seconds, just give those first timers a little window to jump in. And then after a couple seconds, it opens up to everybody. And then we'll just see what 8 people we get. If you click on the link at all, you're telling me that you are available for the next couple hours, and you have the interest, time, and wild cards to be able to participate in a Peasant Cube experience. So if you don't have the time or you're not sure, just sit this one out. But if you know you're going to have the time coming up, would love to have you now for play. So I'm going to give you this link. Remember, as the link appears, wait a second and let people who've never done this before click first, but only a few seconds, and then everybody can jump in, okay? So here it comes. It counts. Yeah, D, you don't count. You've done this before. I'm saying if you've never played against me on air and want to, then jump in first. But now, by now already, jump in. I just like to give that first moment, that first snap click to those who've never done it before. But it's wide open now. Looks like we got 5 of 8. I need 3 more players. Don't be shy now. I have to go back to Ikoria if we don't get 3 more players. Yeah, that's cool, Mama. I'll put that on the list. Mama sitting on pile of work for a new project. Oh, I love it. And the new project means that you get to start using this new project as an ongoing excuse for like weeks and weeks, right? Oh, that new project is just kicking my butt. All right, we're at 7 of 8. One more. All right, there we go. We're at 8. I'm going to jump over now. And we're going to do a ready check, see if everybody's ready to go. I'm not sure when the last time I drafted this set was. We've got Anonymous not ready. Oh, Anonymous is gone. Need one more. Somebody else jump in. Come on. D makes it in. All right. So yes, if you're drafting against me, I'm going to start the draft now. So minimize and don't be cheaty faces, and we'll see you after the deck build. Yeah, I don't use that bracket system though. I play best of ones against the entire field. That's how I prefer to do it. So let's look at what we got here. Again, we're not going to have rares and mythics. So generally what that means is creatures are king, sweepers are hard to come by, and it ends up being a lot more like traditional limited. So we got a Banishing Light here. And I like that as a generic catch-all answer to everything that you could start with. Yes, Surveyor starts out with fixing. That's great that you could go to in any direction with. Farika's Spawn is pretty powerful. That's like anything you can get obvious 2-for-1s from gets more value in limited. So like Foulmire Knight being basically a built-in 2-for-1 is nice. Conrad is definitely good as well. So I'm like, but I like Banishing Light as a nice neutral place to start. Conrad would be a build around place to start. I'm just taking the removal. I think that's a fine place to start. Let's see what else comes our way now. Regal Bloodlord could be the same color as our starting pick and head in that kind of direction. I like Epiphany for a lot of card draw. Curdle. I don't know what kind of removal is in the set, but 4 mana seems like a lot, even for a common uncommon cube. Is there not good, cheap 2 mana removal in this cube? This doesn't seem like a great... I mean, it's obviously great in Ikoria draft, but how good is that here? Yeah, Splicer's also not a bad follow-up. This does provide a 2-for-1. You know, one of the things we were talking about yesterday, I don't know if it's the theme for this cube, but we were talking about white-blue having a blink sub-theme. Yeah, but 4 mana unconditional, I can find 2 and 3 mana unconditional all throughout Arena. Tron, instant speed. Give me a murder, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, what did I take? We took Splicer. I bet, let's go, and I kind of want to, after this draft, find all the cards on Arena that are better than Curdle. Menace is something, but 4 mana is something too. Give me 2 mana removal here. I mean, this is conditional. I get that 4 mana unconditional is different from 2 mana conditional, but in black, you can get 2 mana nearly unconditional, right? We could take an Acuity and try and work that angle. This is a build around. Yeah, like this is a kind of an aggro white card. Yeah, I kind of like Acuity or just Seal Away to stay on color. Let's just take Seal Away. Stay monocolored with another solid pick, and then try to listen to the table a little more. On that front, we could just follow up with Life's Bounty or Legacy and try to make Go Wide work. We're going to wait for D. Sounds like he's having some little issues today. But when isn't he really? I kid, D. I kid. Well, we could still take Mystic here. I'm in for that. We're going to give D a few moments here. And if I might replace with bot, but well, I wish you could. If I could throw a human in there in a spot, I would. Yeah, D got timed out by his own internet, though, I think. Let's take some brief AMA while we wait for D to come back. Been a little frustrated lately with trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do as a good citizen to approach the reopening of our states in a sensible way. I don't know. I feel like the rules change all the time on me. I don't know. I guess you could try that, D. There we go. D is back. All right, so yeah, this is okay, but probably not good enough to take here. We could take a Mystic, and this is not really the Mystic colors. And let's see, is it non-creature? Yeah, it's instant or sorcery. We don't even have an instant or sorcery yet. Like, I like the Mystic, but I don't think we're there, are we? Like, although this deck seems open, like Ral's Outburst is here. We could take it as a powerful card that might get us off of this. I'll take a spec on the Mystic. I know we haven't started towards it, but it's a very powerful build around. So if the table's going to give us the Mystic, maybe we should look and see if red blue spells is open and just kind of abandon our early path here, or even splash some good removal. Let's see what, again, this table continues to tell us. We could take an Eternal and just kind of head towards something more Skiesy, and the Mystic is not going to do a ton, but holds the ground and creates some additional skies. Hypnotic Sprite is interesting. It's also a 2-for-1, but more reactive, whereas Eternal is a more proactive 2-for-1. Yeah, casting Adventures does trigger the Mystic because they are instants. In this case, they're instants and sorceries. So there is that. Yeah, maybe that's enough of a reason. I'll move to the Sprite because of that. That's a good point. If we are going to do this thing, let's give ourselves a little opportunities to actually trigger this Mystic. Prophecy is decent in a base blue deck. Conjurant goes in any deck in terms of a curve filler. I don't know if it's what we're doing here though exactly, but it's just fine almost in anything. I like this Prophecy too, but yeah, I just like this. It's the ultimate curve filler. I mean, it's literally fills all curves. Although it's not really on plan, though, is the thing. It's just generically good, but it's not really doing anything exactly related to what we've started doing here. Casmina to me is, especially where we started color-wise, seems too good to me, even though, again, we're not really doing like instant sorcery here yet. Oh, there it is. Come on, D, hang in with us. Upgrade that internet, buddy. Casmina is fine here, though, right? Now, what do we got? Well, Time of Ice is pretty aggro, but we may be able to be kind of aggro tempo skies control-y type thing. I mean, we can get a God's Willing as well. But I like Time of Ice on the possibility that we can actually do some You Want God's Willing instead. I'm just enamored with finding, like I was saying yesterday when we did Dominaria, I just never really played Time of Ice because my blue decks were never really doing tempo aggro. So I kind of just want to do tempo aggro, but we'll take the God's Willing. It's slots in better. Here's a Senate Guild. I don't even barely know what this does, but we're probably taking it just because it's in our color pair. We could take Bond of Insight or the Wanderer as well. I mean, Senate is cheap and slots into the curve, but is a little bit whatever. Whereas these are a little bit more impactful. Sand wants the Wanderer. I'm going to take the Guild Mage on the cheaper theory. I think the Wanderer is more impactful, but we don't have a lot of low drops quite yet. So I like filling out our 2s a little more because I kind of want to use this as a 3, honestly. So getting some 2s seems good. Skylord, I think just Epiphany. Skylord is pretty awesome, but Epiphany is cards and it triggers Mystic. So I'm going to take Epiphany on that. I also kind of want the weird, but we'll take Epiphany. Threnody Singer could add to the 2s that I was saying we are low on, but Of One Mind adds to the card draw and again triggers the Mystic. I think I'm going to take Of One Mind and pivot towards a little bit more of a classic blue-white control-y and be less concerned about tempo aggro here. Wonder if we could splash that or pivot to that. Anyway, we'll take... Maybe we take Canopy, although I don't know if people are going to main Canopy. We're playing best of 1 here. I'll take the Shana, though. Oh, Aven Eternal comes back. Nice. We were talking about taking that on the first time past. So yeah, we kind of have a tempo control thing going. We're clearly in the right colors. These are both playable spells at the end of the pack. I'm going to take Prophecy over Cancel, though, although maybe we just need to cancel. I just want cheap, though. Like, we'll play Prophecy on 2, and I want stuff to do on 2, and we don't really have our 2s filled out, so I'm going to do that. And on that front, Syncopate can actually be a 2. Let's see if there's anything that edges it out. I mean, there's a Militia Bugler. Looking for power 2, which would get Aven Eternal, Sprite, and Mist. Yeah, like actually, Bugler gets a lot of stuff. Maybe we just take Bugler, see if we can wheel the Syncopate. Like, I was looking, often this means just getting cheap stuff. But if you look at our high end, like, we've got a Mystic and a Splicer at 4 that it gets. It gets both of our 3s and our 2 and our Conjurant. So 100% of our creatures right now are found by the Bugler. So I'm going to take that. See if we can't get a 2-for-1 off of that card. And what is it? How many? Top 4. So you need like 10 targets before you're going to be pretty reliable with it. Dismissal is great. Tranquil Cove helps you cast your spells, but I think Dismissal is where I want to be. Improbable Alliance, a fun card for the red-blue spells deck. This is something playable on 2. Buys you some time. Cutthroat is interesting as well. What are we doing on Cutthroat triggers, though? Like, that triggers it. That would... This has flash, so it could. But I don't think we're doing a lot that triggers the Cutthroat. So I think I'm going to go with the Callous Dismissal here. Portal of Sanctuary. Do we have enough here? Archon. Boy, we don't like Archon against us. Although we have a couple colors, so it wouldn't be the worst to face that. Bounce and draw. That's okay. I'm looking though. Let's see what with Portal we could re-trigger Bugler. Eternal. We could bounce the Sprite and be able to counter stuff. We can reapply removal. We can reset Kasmina. It's permanent, right? Not just creature. Oh, it's creature. So can't reset planeswalkers. We could reset splicers though. We could make the Conjurant bigger. It seems fun enough to take. It might wheel. If nobody else is doing it, it might wheel. But let's take the fun card here over probably the more correct pick of the Archon, and we'll see if we can do fun stuff with the Portal. I like it when you can make a card like Portal work. Facet Reader slots in at 2 if we wanted to get that done. Heron for some first mutate card I've noticed. I don't know if there were others that I didn't see, but this Martyr also can go into the aggro tempo strategy. It's findable by the Bugler, where Heron is not. Facet Reader also findable by the Bugler, so that's something to keep in mind. We could take a Dire Tactics and look to splash a little black. I think we probably just want to keep filling out our 2s. Facet Reader's okay, but we are starting to get a little aggro tempo here. We found the Eternal on the wheel. Even Kasmina is producing some creatures to attack with and stuff, so I like Martyr. Let's move in on getting a little bit more low down and trying to be aggro control. Splendor Mare can help with that. This would be another good splash card. Duelist. It's playable, but I don't think we want it here at this point. If we wheel the Duelist, okay. Blue seemed wide open and white seemed less open, so I also like leaning towards white cards right now because we were seeing late packs with multiple blue cards in them still. Like that. I'm going to change my title now that we know what we're doing. Close. We do that. No. That. There we go. All right. Back to this. Guard Mage kind of slots right in. Storm Tamer also nice. Comes down on 1 and then protects everything else you're doing. But Guard Mage is right on plan. Let's just grab a Guard Mage. Would happily play Aerial Assault or Storm Tamer if they will wheel for us. Parcel Beast. Very tempting, but we're not green at all. We could take Rescuer Sphinx and or Frost Lynx. Rescuer Sphinx picks stuff up. What are we picking up? What are we picking up that we're happy about? Same kind of thing with the portal question, really. Yeah, let's take the Sphinx, and especially with portal. It's kind of like another portal, right? So it helps us lean into that plan. And again, let's keep looking out for more ETB. Well, I don't know if Mirror Image is actually that good in our deck because our stuff is so small. Although, again, this is another thing that gets found with Bugler. You like Urge? I don't think we're gonna be having enough blue. We need a lot of white early. Yeah, I'd rather have Nahiri almost. Let's take Nahiri. Hey, the Syncopate came back. Really glad to see that. That's basically a 2 in our deck. I don't think we're even playing Nahiri, but we'll keep it in mind. Urge feels way too hard to cast in this deck. As it is right now. I could see us through pack 3 getting so much blue that we kind of almost abandon the white, but I really do think that's a mono blue, mono black, or blue black card. It's not. Or if we were splashing white, that would be okay. Cove is perfect. Glad to have that come around. Wouldn't mind a mentor. Vigilance Matters is a sub-theme here, but we just want mana. That's great. I don't know. Fought. We looked yesterday and it seemed better. As far as I saw, the Ikoria Mastery Pass is strictly worse than Theros, yes. But the new one, the M21, looks to head back towards, it adds 400 gems of value. So turn into a pumpkin is fine here. We kind of almost have a deck already with a pack to go. So feeling good about things. Maybe take a Plaza here. Don't know if we'll play it, but if we end up wanting to splash a third color, we would. Well, and to that end, I'll take a Scorn. I could see us deciding to splash some black with what's been going around in terms of blue-black. Right now, I'm going to cut these, though. We'll keep in mind that we can do that. Let's cut some fixing. I like where we're at. I think with another pack of upgrades, we can probably come up with a pretty sweet deck here. We're looking for ETB stuff, especially. So like a Cavalry does ETB action, but Clutches is pretty bomby for an uncommon. You take Saheeli as well, but gotta take Clutches. It's more kind of non-bow with Mystic. I don't even know if we're playing the Mystic at this point, really, but I'm not taking the Clutches. Hey, David. Yes, we're doing a offline Peasant draft. Commons and uncommons only. Drafting against chat. And looking to deliver some beats again. Went 6-0 against chat yesterday. So dominating, I scared the 7th player away. Will you flip the script today? I don't know. I don't think so. I like what I got going. Oh, Scoured Barrens is nice, but we're not going to pass a Sailor. That's too good, right? This is decent, but yeah, Sailor's nice. And meme value, are you kidding me? Maybe we wheel the Barons, though. Keep in mind that this is floating in the packs, and keep an eye out for other black splashes, possibly. Yeah, I almost feel like I played chat on accident yesterday, because yesterday, for those of you who didn't see, we drafted Dominaria, and my take on Dominaria is still the same, that the format is largely about surviving until you can abuse loops and powerful endgame spells, and that's how I approach the format. And and Boros cards tend to be kind of bad, but then yesterday I go 6-0 with a heavy white aggro deck because nobody else wanted it, and I kind of got forced into it, and then there we were. Tactician is excellent for this deck. The Dizzying Swoop side does trigger the Mystic if we choose to play it, but basically it helps with our aggro side and our spell matter side. I like this Evolving Wilds too, but the Tactician is fine here. Thank you for that sub, Bieber fan. And it's, again, findable by Bugler. That's important to me. Yeah, Andy, we're going to play this out on Arena, just like yesterday. We're going to take up a collection for upgrading D's internet. Ooh, Reconnaissance Mission is interesting for our deck because we are trying to we're trying to do that thing, right? Scholar of the Ages is interesting and also a good bounce it up and down type of deal. But I think Reconnaissance Mission, Timely Reinforcement's also good. Guild Globe, interesting, and also worth bouncing with, like, we can't do it with Portal, but the Flyer. But yeah, I think we should I'm going to take Reconnaissance Mission. Scholar, well, we could do Scholar. What do you think? Mission or Scholar? Like, Scholar does the fun thing, but it's a very late card. Like, we're pretty low down. I think I'm going to go Reconnaissance Mission and try to adhere to this lower down strategy we have here. And we could take Baffling End. We could take Boon, but actually we have some card draw already. I don't think we need card draw. I think we should just take more removal to clear the way for our fast beats. C's also kind of interesting, but I don't think we're quite there. Interesting build around, though, for this format. I think we like the end, though. Mortify also interesting with our, you know, if we can get a little bit more to splash, the Mortify would be playable. But I don't think we need to take Mortify when we have a Baffling End. Skybonder is interesting. It's effectively colorless in the deck, and we have a lot of flyers, and it really... Well, maybe we don't have as many flyers as I thought, actually. We have some flyers, and it does make them all harder to target. So I'm going to take that. Practically don't even want to play clutches at this point. We have nothing above 4 besides clutches. Yeah, Skybonder and Kazmina says you can't use your removal on our flyers. That Disfigure costs you 5. Well, I hate to see this Predator because we have a hard time with that, but I'm going to leave it for a possible Dimir player. We haven't really seen... Blue-black stuff was coming around way late. We'll take an Eagle here pretty clearly. Animating Fairy, we don't have the artifacts for that, but Eagle is good. This makes me want to lean into flyers more, like maybe Splendor Mare now gets a cut. Risen Reef is pretty sweet, but I like a negate over Switcheroo or trying to figure out how we play a reef. No, Conjurant is not an artifact, right? I don't think Conjurant is even an artifact. Yeah, Switch is interesting, but I think we just want negate. I think it is. I think negate's the kind of, like, Cube has so many good spells that negate almost always finds a target where you do a little fist pump. You know, it's like, yes, got it. I love a negate in Cube. Blade Banish. Vulpikeet maybe even better here with the sky stuff we got going on. Blade Banish is interesting, but this is best of one. I'm going to take Vulpikeet here. Again, leaning into the flying. Scoured Barrens comes back around, but do we even have the situation? Because we could also just take Ministrant, which dies into flyers, which we like. If we were to take that fixing, at this point, we're only looking at playing possibly this... we didn't even take that card, right? Yeah, forget it. Let's take Ministrant. I don't know if we have the humans for the lockdown. Maybe we're supposed to... This is a flying human. There's some humans here. I'll take the... Yeah, I'll take the lockdown. I don't think we play it, but the other option was to, like, hate something. Jousting Lance... Scholar. I don't think we're playing Scholar. Yeah, I could have hated the Troll. I was thinking about that Razor. Egg. We could play Drawbridge. Maybe this is actually a Drawbridge deck more than an Egg deck, if it's anything. I think we're probably not playing the clutches, and we're probably doing this super low down. Animating Fairy I don't love either, but we don't have, like, we play the Drawbridge, but it's non-creature artifact. Like, we don't have anything for the Animating Fairy, but it is a Windrake in an Empyrean Eagle deck. Got the lockdown. Let's cut land right now just to see where we're at. I'm going to focus on aggro tempo, so cutting things like Prophecy, Syncopate. I like the counters to protect our advantage once we have it. I like removal. Maybe this isn't a portal deck even. Haj, we literally got Animating Fairy last pick. It was our last pick of the entire draft. Portal does some stuff, like there is some ETB, but I just don't think it's how we want to win this game. We want to crush them quick. Mystic also on that front, although we do have, like, we are playing some. I don't think the Mystic is worth it, though. Keat, we hope to be a 3, but that has to be on a pirate, or that's a human. Could be on an army token. Could be on this vampire soldier. Hey, Hannah, that's all right. Yeah, I agree with Deacon. It's not that it doesn't have targets. I just don't know if it's our plan. And maybe, like, Epiphany's not our plan, and Reconnaissance Mission is our plan. This can kind of be a 2. Conjuring is nice to mutate upon. Heck, if I have a good mutate, I might even conjure on 1, but conjuring on 2 into Vulpikeet seems pretty cool. We got 4 cuts to make, though. I'm going to cut the second. I think I need to cut Epiphany or Mission. Let's try cutting Epiphany and making Mission thing. Yeah, Splicer, we're not really blinking, right? We're not doing. Let's cut the Splicer. Let's cut the drawbridge. And where's that? We're one off now. I think I want to cut one of these cards and call it a 24 carder. I'm going to leave this up. I could use a bio break before we actually start the games, so I'm going to leave this for chat to consider. I also want to give you one look. I mean, I cut some good stuff here on the idea that we are trying to go low down, but we could bring any of this stuff back that you think belongs. We could bring a Splendor Mare in for, for a Guard Mage or something like that if we wanted. But I think it's something like this. What are we cutting? Oh, who's Tupperware is raiding with a party of 89. Welcome, group Tupperware. I'm just about to take a very short break, like about a minute. We are drafting a Peasant Cube against chat here and looking for final changes to this deck. This is 25 cards. I was thinking of going 24 low down aggro tempo, but we could also include some of this juicy stuff out of the board. We got a portal that has some targets, but is kind of a long game strategy when we're trying to get it done quick. Splendor Mare, kind of an arbitrary cut because it wasn't flying. I was trying to focus in on Empyrean Eagle stuff where possible. So that's how Splendor Mare got the cut. We don't really have anything going on with the Sprite. Oh, no, wait, this is the... I want this one. Sorry, it was the other one that I meant to cut. Animating Fairy. This is we wanted Hypnotic Sprite and cut Animating Fairy. That's what we wanted. Prophecy was a late cut because it's kind of not what we want to be doing on turn 2. We want to apply some pressure. Tough cuts include these sweet value engines, just card draw and value engine, but we're not really doing that. And also tough cuts on the high end. I cut a great 6-drop and a great 7-drop because I'm trying to cap the curve at 4 here. And so that's what I'm thinking about with this deck. We are at 25 cards right now. I'll pop the Tranquil Cove back in so I don't forget about it. But I'm looking for one more cut from chat. Talk amongst yourselves for about a minute, and I'll be back to make the final cut, and then we'll start battling, okay? Hang tight. I am back. What are we thinking? As I was thinking about it while away, I was feeling like between Baffling End, Callous Dismissal, Seal Away, Banishing Light, that maybe, and the counter spells, maybe we have enough interaction that we don't need to run Turn into a Pumpkin. So I was thinking Turn into a Pumpkin out. Ministrant, I like the Ministrant because it dies into Eagle tokens. That's, and very hard to kill, you know. So I kind of like the Ministrant here. And I also want to make sure we stay heavy on creatures. Another thing about making a couple of dorks in the air is it really does work with the mission well. I think Negate is good in every cube. Vulpikeet is an interesting call out. Like, it is setting us up for possible 2-for-1s to mutate it. But we do have, and if I guess if the Senate Guildmate, yeah, you could argue Vulpikeet. What is our creature count? 1, 2, 3, 4-ish, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That makes creatures 14, 15, 16. Yeah, okay, we're decent on creatures. Yeah, amass tokens. I kind of want to try the Vulpikeet with the army tokens and the Conjurant. I hear you. It's close. I'm going to cut the Turn into a Pumpkin, but I'm going to remember that the suggestion that maybe that should have been Vulpikeet instead. And I'm going to try this. I hear you, Deacon. I'm going to give it at least one try, though. Yeah, mutates onto Martyr. Sailor. It just sets us. But if you mutate it onto a Sailor or a Martyr, you know, you kind of are 2-for-1ing yourself. You're turning it into an aura, which you got to be cognizant of, but I kind of want to try it anyway. And 7, 8, that looks correct. Yep. Hop over to deck building now. Why so quiet? Didn't I turn volume on? Maybe I didn't. Oh, here we go. If anybody redeemed Bling, let me know now, because I'm going to crank through this and hopefully get playing very shortly here. Oops. Wrong button. Do that. Suggest. Yeah, that's what we wanted. In this case, if you are new to this and you participated in the event, you got to friend me via my Going Optimal ID. So I'm Going Optimal pound 32646. So send me a friend request if we're not friends yet, and then I'll challenge you or you challenge me, and we do a friend challenge. Let's see. So there we go. Accept that invite. Mission style. Oh, D. I decline your 60-card deck challenge, Dionysus. Don't worry, I screw it up all the time. I'll try again correctly. Well, then he needs to make it an 80. Alright, let's get to the battlefield. Let us adjust the record. We'll get it back to 6-0 soon enough, but I gotta start it on 0-0. Nice. Love it. Gonna try and wait to play Eagle with God's Willing available. Looks like we're not going to have much to do on 2, though, unless D gives us a reason to fire off this God's Willing. No, fool. It's just a cube made up of no rares or mythics. That's the only restraint that we're playing under here. Well, well, well. I could play the Eagle right now, but it feels important enough that so let's see. I wish D had done something we could dismiss here. I don't want to play the Eagle into, although it's also okay if we like let the Eagle go and then we let the Sailor live. Maybe with nothing else to do, I am just gonna Eagle here. I'm gonna Eagle. It may die, but then if the Sailor lives, that's great. Yeah, he cast down the Sailor anyway. If I'd had, like, anything else legit to do, though, I would have done it. I just did not want to do nothing that turn, though, and passing in that situation risked nothing. So yeah, I'm just gonna tempo here. Yeah, Dionysus is from Amsterdam. So he says. I believe him. What do we got here? Of One Mind for the easy draw 2. Love it. Let's do that. Oh, great. And then we get a Sky Bonder and a God's Willing. Up. I believe he's Dutch. Interesting hat. Ooh, that's actually good. Great place for him to mutate because the seal away, that thing is not going to get tapped. And is a nice blocker here. Gonna start the looting. Hey, okay. I like that. We can do the army thing and potentially get big enough here to attack through that Heron. Yep. Alright, I'm liking the Vulpiceats so far. I mean, we happen to have the army token that was the kind of on one of the justifications for including it, but it's good here. The Sky Bonder is making the Vulpikeet extra tough to remove as well, and if D comes up with the removal, we have the Willing. Again, not a lot of sweepers in... I mean, there's not really any uncommon pure sweepers, right? The sweepers that tend to be available in these formats are the deal 2 damage to everything variety.
Mowu's bark is much cuter than his bite. We'll do this together.
Probably just want to give Vulpikeet protection from Heron and swing away. We get in for 5 for sure. Blocks the 3/3. These two get in to drop him to 1. And then we probably have attacks there, especially if we can draw some action on top of this. I do not know you. That is not the action I'm looking for. So, do we want to go hunting with the Guild Mage or swing away here? D feels he punted. So everybody, I wish we need a D punt command for when he's on air, but no. We'll see. Sorry. Let's see. I'm just trying to figure out if we bring him to 1 at the cost of this Sky Bonder or not. I think with having not played another creature to block with, we should, because then we're lethal in the air with 2 different threats. Yeah, we could also swing all and let him block. And if he doesn't block the Vulpikeet, if he blocks the Vulpikeet, it's fine. If he doesn't block the Vulpikeet, we can decide what to do. Yeah, exactly. So we can either, yeah, it's still lethal. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, this is lethal right now. So we are not obligated to do anything here. Right now we win. All right. The metric system loses again. That's funny. I've been watching Taskmaster with my daughter, and it always makes me laugh when I hear the British folks using the Imperial system, because I'm like, oh yeah, they're dumb like us. Yeah, we took their dumb system and went with it. Nothing blue yet, but we do have Conjurant on 2. Any land gives us Ministrant on 3. Is the rest good enough? I don't know. This is a medium hand, but maybe it's not quite good enough to keep. I don't know. I'm going to pull this one. I'm very curious what chat thinks on this one, because I'm pretty torn. I mean, it does have stuff to do with any land, but if we don't find blue, we're going to fall behind. So we need to find blue in like the first 4 or 5 turns. Yeah, that's true. Also, Hypnotic Sprite is asking for double blue, but Mesmeric Glare is only asking for single blue. Let's see what people think. I think this is a close one. Most people want a mole. I guess I'll follow chat on this one. I think you could make a legit argument to keep. We do have 2 into probably 3, but I'll mulligan. Chat wants to mulligan. And look, this does have better stuff in it, right? Of One Mind, we've got a human and a non-human. I think we just keep this and unfortunately ditch the Guard Mage. Although it does help us get back into it. I could ditch the Conjurant instead. Guard Mage and Mind help us recover from the mole. I don't want to... and Eagle does too much... Really? You think Eagle? I think we want to keep the Eagle. Although, here's the thing. With Conjurant and Guild Mage, we can guarantee Of One Mind even on turn 3 with no land. So that's something to consider as well. Like, this pair gives us a 1 mana Of One Mind. And in that front, maybe we just give up the Guard Mage, or maybe we do give up the Eagle and I don't worry about pumped flyers here. Yeah, if we find another land, Mage, Eagle, Guard Mage is great. This is a very close one. I think it's Eagle or Guard Mage. I'm gonna go... Yeah, I'll go Guard Mage. It's the most expensive thing, and now my question is, do you want to play a Conjurant on 1 to set up the Of One Mind on 3? I think no, because if we absolutely have to, we can Conjurant for 1 on turn 3 and use our other mana for the Of One Mind, so we're gonna pass now and go Guild Mage on 2, and then if we absolutely have to, Conjurant for 1. Okay, it looks like we're not gonna. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It's a cool island. What's that one? That's, oh, it's an Avon, of course. But what set is that? Everything? I like that better than the Weirdo Frame one. Oh, this is the squirrel one. The Hidden Squirrel. Got it. I'm going to play a non-human here to set up of one mine, and I'm going to just play a 3-mana Conjurant, I think. I'm going to start with a Guild Mage attack, though. I think that's fine, because it sets up next turn, if we don't draw a land, of one mine to try and find a land. And then, ooh, that's pretty good, right? A little clunky. We're going to try and beat it, but I'm going to go for the of one mine and try to find land. Come on now. Here we go. And then we'll go Skybonder, send in the Conjurant. Oh yeah, that's fine. Take that trade, and then drop our Bonder. Next turn we get Eagle Sailor. Seems pretty nice. We're doing the thing. That's not bad for us to see. Means we get a nice clean attack here, barring a significant spell for a single swamp. We're gonna eagle it here, though. Although I want... Oh, we have to do it this way. I want damage more than I want life, so we'll send our 2/2.
All right, everyone, chill.
So this increases the cost of spells, but the Chillbringer ability is not a spell, it's an effect, so it doesn't get taxed or anything, if you were wondering. CMC 3 or less is not going to get it done for us on the Chillbringer, but we could Vulpikeet onto... We could Vulpikeet onto something, but I'd rather draw with a Sailor, leaving blue up that we may want to use to loot with the Guild Mage. Yeah, I could do the... We could do that. We could just get aggro. Do you want to just get aggro? Kind of want to draw... But maybe I'm not being aggressive enough here. Yeah, we don't even need to mutate it. We can just play a 2/3 that becomes a 3/4. I think I'm... You want to loot first, Haj? You want to loot and then see what we find? Because maybe we pitch the Baffling in and then can decide. I suppose that's fair, too. All right, let's... I'll loot first on this strength of the notion that Baffling End is not a very good card for us anymore. So we have a good loot target already. That's why we don't need to draw first. Cool, I like it. So let's go... we'll ditch the Baffling End. And... Now we can hard cast this, we can hard cast this, we can draw with the Sailor. I feel like if we Vulpikeet, mutate, it's just going to die, but we can't really attack here if we don't deal with the Chillbringer. We can't keyed onto the obligation, it's a human. So... I am now on draw a card. I'm going to draw a card. It's not as it's not very aggressive. You want to just play the Ministrant? What do we do with that, though? I mean, I guess we attack and suicide it in for some flyers in that way. Like, it's just... I'm going to draw a card while I can. I have decided, gotta play this game. Oh, that's true. It does die into two 2/2s, which is because of the eagle. I like getting a card here, though. Because next turn we'll untap with Skybonder that can also represent something that can attack into a Chillbringer. Not too huge a problem for us. We're trying to win through the air, so a Lich down there being angry on the ground is not huge for us, and we don't care if the Ministrant dies. Kind of want it to die, so that's fine. They can't race with a Chillbringer. They need that for defense, so... Interesting. Okay. Reconnaissance mission. Kind of want to play that. Well, we could also send the Skybonder first here, unless we're going to Vulpikeet onto something. Yeah, we could loot again as a starting point. Let's do that. Let's get all of our info. Syncopate. Interesting. Because I'm still not happy with our plays. If we can find something that beats the Chillbringer, for example, we unlock the skies in a way that's pretty great. Well, we could still double spell. We could keep the island, the Syncopate, and the Ministrant, and play the Ministrant and have Syncopate up for any attempt at big action, although Syncopating for 1 is not going to be hugely impactful against this board, against this kind of mana. I'm going to keep... Yeah, I do like keeping the land, actually. We could just get rid of the mission. Mission is kind of slow on the cards. Let's just get rid of the mission. We're kind of doing the card draw quality thing with the Guild Mage anyway. And then we can do this. And now I'll offer our Skybonder. That's a reasonable play, Andy. I like this a lot, though. Trading our Skybonder for the Chillbringer, keeping up Syncopate, and then either Syncopating or Sailoring. Yeah, but see, this is even better, Hannah. If they don't have a flyer to block with, we can just go wide in the air, as opposed to Vulpikeeting and going tall in the air. So out muscle, we can obviously syncopate it, trying to decide if we want to. We could just let it be a trick. Yeah, we want to syncopate it. Let's keep our dude. So we need to make an X of 3 for them to not pay for it. Doesn't matter though, might as well go 4. In case I'm missing something. If we find a land off the top, we can consider just doing one of these things and drawing a second card off of the Sailor. Or we can just loot again. I mean, Guild Mage isn't attacking through the Druid, so if they don't... do we have ETBs here? No real ETBs for the Sphinx to abuse. So not the best, although just being a big flyer is alright. Yeah, but we discarded a spell whose job was to do what the discarding thing was already doing, right? Push 7 damage. How are you pushing 7? You want to Vulpikeet on something? If we could Vulpikeet here. I worry about going shields down, but we gotta, and also not having any card draw anymore. I mean, we could also draw a card and try and find a land that we can then, yeah, let's loot first though. I again, continue like looting. Ooh, with a land, we could ditch the Sphinx and double spell here. Well, I mean, we could still bounce, but what does that even, does that get us value? I don't understand the value there. Bounce a Vulpikeet Sailor for so much value. Well, you're joking, maybe. Yeah. I will ditch the land. I'm gonna keep doing this. Yeah, I like, let's do Ministrant for chumping, and then we get big flyers next turn. I like that. That's fine. Yeah, you could make the argument for Sphinx there too, but then you gotta bounce something. I don't want to bounce something yet. Archie. Alright, well, that's realness, because that's a lot of life. I didn't just play Vulpikeet because I wanted to block intentionally with Ministrant and make 4 power in the air. Hey, look who showed up just in time. We got this. And now... Now I'm going to go all, attack all and rescuer. Or Vulp. Yeah, one of the two. I'm just going to attack with everything and hard cast something. Make him block. I know they got the Druid block here, but let's make him do it. Yeah, we can rescue her and make a 5, or we can Vulpikeet and add 3. Let's go ahead and rescue the Guild Mage. We've got action, so I don't need the looting as much right now, and it's not getting through the Druid anyway. So this isn't contributing to our damage. Let's make a big flyer. Whereas if they want to block this with the Druid, that makes us happy. Got lucky to find that removal when we did, but we do have some other, we have a O-ring style removal spell too. So we did have some answers to this scary Archie, and now at least if they take care of our seal away, these are split and Archie won't have lifelink again. That was what was so scary about this Tomebound. Do-de-do-de-do. Looking pretty good. Hopefully Oppo's in the tank about... Oh, and then you draw God's Willing and it feels like you cannot be stopped. That makes me want to go ahead and move all in with Vulpikeet onto something here. I guess the... Don't do it that way. We're going to do like this, this, and this. And mutate Vulpikeet on Sailor. And then send team, including Eagle, since we have the gods willing to solve all problems. We're fine with this as it sits. Insight doesn't change anything. Oh, it does, because it makes that. All right, so now we go God's willing. Save our eagle. In that plains. And replay our guild mage and hope this is enough. It's quite the Air Force. Yeah, this is, we are working on our own cube, and we kind of chose a blink strategy for blue-white, but this is the other classic archetype to create for a bargain cube, is blue-white skies. Kept something on top, so that implies a way to survive. We did it yesterday for the first time after on stream after the play for the day. So now Guild Mage is part of a lethal potential attack here, so I'm not going to bother looting. I'm just going to swing away. I can't see how Oppo survives on 2 life here if we just keep swinging away. All right. I should have done this when I beat D, even though it's not technically Friday. I just like using this meme.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Looking good. I'm not going to conjure in on 1. We'll just try and curve out from 1, or from 2. Hey, there you go. We're done. Our cube goal of $100 cube is already done. You can just do this one. Oop, did I just pass without casting a... Oops. There's a nice punt to start, huh? I got distracted. Didn't I just pass without playing a land, or was it not my turn? I can't even remember now. Did I just not play a land, or was it not my turn? Okay. I'm trying to give chat a chance, apparently. I got, obviously, chat distracted. Welcome to streaming. Let's see. Looks like LaSalle took a bunch of our cards. We can play... What do we want to do here? If we drop an Eternal, the Hammer Skull can't tap everything. And looks like we get to lay down blocks. But we can just leave the Guild Mage back, and that already does that. I guess I'll wait on the Conjurant. We should just play one of our 3s. The really question is whether we want to hold Mesmeric Glare. This is a really good card against White Weenie, because most of their stuff is 3 or less. If we leave this up and they don't do anything, then we get in a spot where we're left with just looting or something. And I want another body. We'll save this. I'm going to drop a body. Let's drop a Bugler. See what we find. Swing and a miss on Bugler is real rough for our deck. We have endless targets for it. Not playing a land on your first turn is just like fighting with one hand behind your back and still winning. That's what's going to happen here. Oh man, we're in exactly the same colors. I bet we have a lot of each other's cards here. Although they look to be more ground-based. We kind of took to the skies a bit more with our eagle. I don't know what we're talking about. Rules clarification for organized play that chat help is not allowed. Well, I wouldn't... If I were ever doing a competitive event, I would... That makes sense. I mean, like, I would not try to compete in a competitive event with team chat on my side or whatever. Even though, as we've seen, it doesn't necessarily overall help. That's why I always crack my wilds right away, Hannah. I'm terrified of forgetting that. It looks like if we had held up counter magic, it wouldn't have worked anyway. So now we can make a big... Here I just like... Maybe bouncing... Trouble is I want to hold up this counter now. But we don't have the luxury because of this Hammer Skull. Maybe I need to, like, dismiss the Hammer Skull. How are we making up for my mistakes here? We can do Eternal. We can make an Eternal plus Senate Guild Mage activation. I think I'm going to do that. We're going to go shields down again, and I'm going to leave up a loot. Now if the Hammer Skull comes in, it can tap down the Bugler, but I am willing to put the Guild Mage and the Eternal on the Hammer Skull to kill it. Making unenforceable rules is generally not a good plan, but if you need to make a statement about how you intend your situation to be from a moral standpoint, sometimes you'll make unenforceable rules that express an important moral for your event or whatever. Well, we could make it an ethical discussion right now, Woodrow. Mathematically, I do a little bit better without chat's distraction. Therefore, I could make the argument that based on maths, we should absolutely accept help because it doesn't actually help. How about that? Anyway, Sarah's wings, rough here, but we get to dismiss it, so we'll do that. We have to take a hit here, but then we get to dismiss it next turn. And yeah, I don't want to trade for either of these either, so we'll just take this all. Negate. But let's dismiss the problem here. And hold Sprite Negate. I want the Eternal blocking for the air. We could send the Bugler knowing that they have to give us a cavalry. Yeah, I don't want to do that either. We'll just hold this. We get to counter the Hammer Skull on the way back down if they decide to try and replay that. That would be great. Get rid of that thing. Was really messing with our defense. Then we can drop a huge Conjurant that'll hold the ground well. Yeah, counter that. That's pretty good. Now we do have Negate and Sprite, but we don't have, we need the island to do Negate and Sprite, and I want that. So I'm not gonna Guild Mage here. I'm gonna hard cast our Sprite and hold up the Negate and see if we don't need the Negate at the end of their turn. Maybe we loot it away, but I like holding for a turn here. And seeing if we negate or loot away the negate. Or loot away something else and save the negate for later. Yeah, we could gain 2. I don't see the need to gain, though, since this is still somewhat of a control battle. Like, we're trying to we're trying to establish control here. I suppose if they do some removing, we could wish we had life that we don't have because, oh, now we're not stable, but right now we're stable-ish. So, yeah, we could just gain 2, but I'm going to be greedy and keep looting.
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed is good.
Yeah, let's drop the negate now. Oh, boy. Now I'm going to save the Tactician for taps on their turn, and we'll start sending in our flyers. If they want to crack back with the healer, we now have the Eagle to save. Omen of the sun. Omen of the sun. We're trying to win the air here and are going to focus on that aspect of this battle. I'm worried about this go wide leading to some sort of pump that gets us from 8, so maybe we do need to start getting some life now that they're this wide. Because now I can imagine some scenarios where some extra life keeps us from losing, you know? Do I care if they attack with anything here? Because we could just do some tapping here. We do have this bugler, though. I'm going to let him attack. Show me you got something. Could be risky. I could be, you know, setting myself up for exactly that kind of pump spell that could kill us. And here does come the whole shebang. But we do get, we're at a virtual 10. So we're going to do some blocks and make them have something here. I'm gonna try to make blocks that act as though we survive, because like if they have the big pump, we're kind of doomed. I mean, I can even block with the eagle. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 get through. So yeah, any they're at least all the same in their types. Settle down, D. Well, I still am going to tap, but the idea was going to tap what they didn't attack with. So that's the idea. I think we have to block everything in hope. So let's see. We might just be dead here, but what can we do but make him have it? And the only other question is, do we want to block bigger stuff? Like I could block a 2/2. Yeah, maybe I'll put the 2/2 on the 2/2. And this on... Wasn't there another? Well, okay, we're gonna risk that block too. Yeah, this gives us the biggest chance of staying alive if they do have something. And if they show us exactly 8, remember the Guild Mage puts us at a virtual 10. So they have to come up with 10 damage here. Which if they give +1/+1 to everything isn't enough. That makes 8 damage from the unblocked 1/1s. What do you think this is? I don't know what all is in the cube. I'm trying to think of what the pumps are that would be in a cube at uncommon. And there are quite a bit. I mean, there's many team pumpers at uncommon. You know, +1/+1. I mean, maybe it's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, they have 10+ permanents easily, so it could be the one that's no, maybe it just looks like a desperation attack all. So far, that's what it seems like. Yeah, maybe you're right, Adam, that Team Pump would be too obvious a play to not just snap do there. Less life than an opponent, fewer creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does this do anything? I don't think this does anything for them. Cast for 0. And I'm going to cast this just because I want to cast the Tactician. So we'll... Oh, sorry, I thought everything was tapped. We're not gonna do a big attack anyway, though, because we're now. Oh no! Well, I guess I'm gonna loot. Darn it! Auto tap. Skybonder Conjurant. That's interesting. I'm actually going to ditch the Conjurant here. I mean, it's a 6/6 on the ground, but I'd rather have cast 2 creatures that fly and are buffed next turn. We're trying to deal with Go Wide. So Conjurant less important here than these 2 critters. And I am going to... well, we could leave God's Willing up. Gives us another activation here. Yeah, no kidding, Intangible, right? I think I'm just going to play the Skybonder. They're out of cards. They need to top deck to have any answers here. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like, I'd keep up God's Willing if they weren't literally top decking War Furnace, but I'm willing to go shields down when they're out of cards. I mean, they may do an upkeep Omen, so the upkeep Omen may be a reason to hold. That's a reasonable thing that they're going to get their best of 3 cards, but I still like doing it on empty there, and I'm going to start attacking with at least 1 creature. I mean, we got to be cagey here. We're at 4. That's pretty real. But I need to get them to 0, or we're just waiting for them to find a way to get us from 4 to 0. Oh, do we have Vigilance? Oh, well, this is on the ground. I wanted to send the leave the dude on the ground, I guess. This is more power. But if this was a free attack, I should have. I'm not going to deny that. Now we've got Guild Mage. I just didn't notice. Yeah, punting left and right here. I'm going to save the Guild Mage so our defenses are up the most. And let's see, Gods, if we send in a 3/3, we'll send in a 3/4. They don't have the means to block that. Getting sloppy here. I'll try and tighten up. Opened on this game with the classic skip playing a land on turn 1 punt. Remember that? That was a long time ago. But see, it made the game interesting. If I hadn't given away the first turn of the game, then the game would already be over. I would have won, and then this wouldn't be nearly as interesting. He says, presuming he would already have won. Yeah, aggro decks are a little bit easier to play. It's not that they're brainless. I think there's that tendency of Magic players to take one observation to too far of an extreme. And I think it is absolutely true that aggro decks are, quote, easier to play than control decks. But that just means it's just because an aggro deck has just fewer decisions. Just literally fewer decisions because you're trying to end the game in a fewer number of turns. And control decks just go on and on and on and have all these decisions to make. Now I got to be careful. Where am I? We're on my turn, right? All right. Yes, you can argue that the decisions in aggro matter more. Each decision is more impactful, but there are fewer of them, and therefore I think the burden, like how, quote, difficult it is to play the deck, I think control decks are more difficult because they have more decisions. Let's loot. Again, being greedy, but we've got a clear loot. So let's loot it. And this God's Willing makes me a little bit cockier than I might be otherwise because we're so well protected. Our key stuff is well protected with the God's Willing. And I'm going to keep sending this tactician. We could play an island. I don't know what we're ramping. We got no mana sinks really, right? The one we have is in the graveyard. Why do you want to send the vigilance guy? We just have to, like, I mean, they just have blocks and stuff. I mean, they would have to double block, but I don't even want to give him that. Yeah, they just have an easy block. There's no... There was a free attack with this several turns ago when they were well tapped that I missed, but I haven't really missed a bugler attack since, I don't think. Yeah, Sailor's a good mana sink. That's a good point, Hannah. If we find it, we can start playing lands, though. I don't know. Let's see. Nope. Hey, everybody. Look, we were just talking about you, buddy. All right, now we'll play land for sure. Send ticky-tack. Yeah, this might not resolve. Someone there in chat is smelling a counterspell from LaSalle. Yeah, let's see what they want to do. We might just let this happen depending on where they target this. Probably the eagle to shrink our stuff, but then we still have blocks everywhere, right? So I don't think we care. All right, if we let this happen, our stuff shrinks, but there's flyers are still small. So I think we just let this happen. I don't think this is a problem. That's fair. They could counter the eagle on the way back down, but then they have to give us the sailor. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. So we have to go down to 1, but then we can go back up to 3. So I'm gonna just, I'm not gonna block with the sailor. Like, in case we need to block, like, we're just gonna gain 2 with the mage. I mean, I could play the sailor, but if I'm not gonna block with it, I shouldn't play it, and I'm not gonna block with it. I'm gonna risk it. So we're gonna go block, 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 blockity block, block, block. And then we have, here's the 1, 2, is there 3 unblocked? Yeah, I could have done Sailor Draw, but that's a reasonable point. What I was trying to do is not expose Sailor to sorcery speed action, but we kind of think that's a counterspell anyway, right? Anyway, this is the block. And that's okay. It kills our sprite, but doesn't really kill anything else. We could even save our sprite if we really wanted to. But literally nothing else dies, and we don't die. So I think we just, yeah, may as well draw now, right? Let's do that. Good call. should have been playing our lands, apparently. Look at that. We would have actually been able to just counter this uncomfortable chill, utterly blow them out, but I sandbagged lads for the... lads, you guys got me on lads. Sandbagged lands for the... as it is, this resolves, and then we question God's willing. Can we just crack back for the win? I think we just, yeah, let's just save our sprite, and then we look pretty, but we don't need to gain life if we have lethal, right? So let's count it. We're replaying this, 1, 2, 3, yeah, we just have I'm gonna save the sprite, and then I think we have lethal. By punting, I made that game much more interesting. Much more interesting. You're welcome. Good game, LaSalle. That was a good one. Although we're kind of trading punts there for a little bit. How'd you like my first turn? Oh, I was just chatting. Oh, in the first turn, I just passed my first turn without playing a land. I was just chatting with chat, passed the turn, and just said, I'll be on the play, but you know what? No actions first turn, no actions. I'm just going to start on turn 2. That's good. That's going to be how this is going to play. All right, we'll keep this. Yeah, you didn't read your cards. I'm shrugging and not bothering with lands on turn 1. A real clinic on top level magic here. We're having fun though. Right on, Hannah. You got one of them fancy Peloton type deals, or are you on an old school, or are you just out listening on, you know, out riding on the road? That seems unlikely, but you know. Yeah. Somebody's always got to be the aggro red deck. And flooding on islands pretty hard here. This exiles, so we could seal away the initiate. Although Motivator tends to be a pretty important card for these types of decks. So I'm inclined to seal away the Motivator and stop this hasty race. I know Initiate is good against the Martyr, but I like that play. Mike likes the tap. Yeah, we could have just tapped him there. We do that now. Banishing Light. Yeah, let's save the Light. We might find something better. And Tactician as a 2/3 straight up blocks the Legionnaire if we can find more white. So let's start by now moving onto the tap their turn plan. Whoa. Go wide indeed. Well, we can't stop that. and it's a very good one against us, but we are gonna just tap what we can, take the rest. Rescuer Sphinx. Now maybe we could even, well, I don't have 2 spells this turn, but we can hold up a God's Willing. Let's go ahead and send in Martyr. And we could bounce it. Is that too crazy? Like, we're not... Are we blocking Martyr? Are we going to trade Martyr for one of these? Because if not, we should just send it. I think I'm going to send the Martyr and bring it back here. I'm being a little bit greedy here because of the God's Willing. If they have a big pump their team, I don't think this decision is going to make a difference anyway, is the thing.
I think I'm a decent enough pyromancer.
Yeah, like that type of thing. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's hard to beat that, although certainly now I wish I had the Martyr for that. We do have... Yeah, I guess we eat one of these for the God's Willing. I'm blocking the real one because we do have Bounce in the deck that we could use on the tokens. Of One Mind will be a very cheap draw next turn, so we're going to keep that. Yeah, swinging out there would have been better, right? Now we get Martyr, although we could just Banishing Light. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought that was a human. You're right, it's not a human. We still, it doesn't matter because I think we need to use the white on Banishing Light anyway. And what I'm going to do is be somewhat risky. Either we find a land and we can banish the Chandra, or we find no land and we have to drop a Martyr here. But at least we have an option if we don't find a land of one on the Of One Mind. We did find a land, so I am gonna just banish Chandra and see if we can't hold here.
I'm out of here.
Looks like a human. Pesky vampires. It's the hat. I don't know. Seems worth the counter right now, since Oppo doesn't seem able to attack with the Legionnaire. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Well, they're going for it. I gotta block the biggest thing and cross our fingers. Now, unfortunately, we need a little more than we've got. Although we're not dead. Not dead. But I think we need to play the Tactician and hold up Negate. And then cycle Reconnaissance if we don't use the Negate. Set to go to 1 here, though. But 1 is not 0, as we have done the math on. Give us something to negate. Come on. Well, I'm not going to cycle mission when we have a potential negate that could save the game here. Just so. Now we may have to cycle the mission because we're not attacking for any significant amount of time here. Even Eternal is nice. We get to do everything now. Awesome. Could make an argument to start attacking even. Are we... I don't feel that stable, though. We got these 2/2s. I want to leave these back. Maybe we start attacking with this Eternal coming up if we can find some more action. Yikes. Still no attacks then. Quite the Boros go wide here from Richard. Again, nothing to do but just keep blocking, just keep blocking. I'm not blocking the Initiate because it makes another dude. Might as well let the one power go through that if we kill it makes a replacement. And we blocked all the best stuff. So here we go. See what happens. And there it is. Good game, Richard. All right. You got one, chat. You got one. You didn't get 12. You got one. Who's next? Shaman? Is that you? Oh, let's view that challenge. Let's accept that challenge. All right. I'm going to keep, and I'm going to try something different here and play a land on turn 1. Oh, thanks. Got everything but that. It is cube vchat. Oh, it's like, why is it paused? Oh, Conjurant. Always Conjurant. You come here for the big lessons, like don't skip your land drops in the early turns. Curve out, come in here. We're going to Eagle next turn. Probably Conjurant after that. Might Conjurant into Vulpikeet on Conjurant. Make a massive... Conjurant. Keet. Love a land from here. Then we could cast Guard Mage next turn. No land for us. We could hold up, negate. Definitely attacking with Eagle and not attacking with Guild Mage. So I'm going to start there. And shields down or not. I think with the negate and the God's Willing, we could also just loot here. But I'm going to I'm going to pass, and then we have a lot of options. We can God's Willing to save our important eagle. We can loot at the end of their turn. We could God's Willing to eat a Death Bloom Thallid here. And even that's not the actual worst. But I'm going to just take this for now. I think we want to hold that God's Willing against black with heavy removal. Yeah, that's fair, Mike. Mike's excited about the but we can kind of set it up where if we get another land before we do that, Mike, we can hopefully have Vulpikeet and have God's Willing to protect it. I like your plan, but let's protect that beast with God's Willing. Nice juggler here. Can't counter it. So I'm going to go ahead and loot. Look for a land. All right, there's a land. Kind of like everything here. I guess I have to let go of the negate, even though I love a negate against black especially. They're so full of targeted removal, but we do have the God's Willing that we're trying to use for that. Although negate and God's Willing is like double protection for Conjurant Vulpikeet. But then we have to give up the Guard Mage, and that's crazy with the Eagle. So I think we just have to give up the negate. Even though it's a pretty useful spell. So we could do the Guard Mage here. Or we could set up for Mike's play. We could play a Conjurant for 4. And then we could also play it for 3 to leave the God's Willing up. And I don't mess around. I know Deathright's just joking, but anybody who does that to me, I turn it off. Yeah, it just leaves us shields down, but let's send the Eagle first. All right, loving this hand. If we can untap with our board intact, we're in great shape. That's quite the attack. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Guard Mage in the way here. Although we're at 21, I don't really care if we take 6. But I kind of want Sharkman here to use resources on the Guard Mage or whatever. Like, I already got my value. I don't even care. So, like, I'm going to do that and let them use resources on the Guard Mage if they want. Ah, nice. Cool 2-for-1. Although it's a 2-for-1 of a card that already got us some value. So, again, not super concerned. And even here, we get Conjurant. Nah, see, this is where now I want to do Conjurant, playing it a little cagier. Given the removal that we've seen, I'm going to go Conjurant on 4. Now they're going to need basically 2 pieces of removal to stop a massive Vulpikeet. And yeah, we'll hold back here, and we can loot, we can gain life, we can save the Conjurant. Lots to do here. Yeah, if they waited, they could have gotten back Chupacabra, but did not. Another interesting attack, but I'm just gonna say at this point we're gonna move in on a willing protected conjurant with a mutated Volpakite and hope that's good enough. And if we draw a land, well, we have a land, so we only have 6 next turn. We can't do it all. I was thinking this, and this. Can't do it all next turn. Let's... We're not using 6 mana next turn anyway. Let's loot. Of one minding here seems great. We'd get to... Even if we don't find land, we get Volpakite, God's willing. So I'm going to of one mind to start. And then plan in effect. $15 life is not a whole lot, but they're on a 2-turn clock. So it's kind of on them to find an answer now-ish. We're kind of at 17 life, but we're really at 15 life. Because if you think I'm spending mana on life here, I'm not. But I am going to block. Don't even really need to block. I'm not even going to block. I say, beat me, Deathrite Sharkman. I have God's willing. Gotta beat that thing twice. Well, with 5 mana, they even might, but they have. That's what they need. That probably means, yeah, Gary could win. That's a great call. Maybe, but although would Gary win, we might even be able to gain life even in the face of Gary here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gary would be 8. We gain 2, and yeah, we would have even been okay with Gary. I'd be at 1. Guess what 1 is not? It's not 0. Oh, seems like it would save, but we have both Banishing Light. This is not going to do anything, right? Deals damage. Okay, just making sure that's not going to do anything. And I was not going... I could have activated that, but I was never going shields down on the Guild Mage. Or on the God's Willing. It removes a counter, but they're still dead with a pro-green here. Maybe they have... Actually, let's tap. Then we still save... by tapping the spider, we still save God's Willing for possible 2-mana removal. Yeah, light or tap. We can just do light, I suppose. Light's even better, right? Because we want that dead. Not even just dead, exile dead. All right. Picked up another. I think Hannah had next. Was that the case? I tried to open up that challenge. Where is it? There it is. Well, we were the flip side though was that we might have lost a Gary if the math hadn't checked out, but I didn't do the math, so there was a risk of a Gary loss there. Didn't think about sacrifice effects though. That's worth considering for the future. Another good looking start here. Nothing to actually go with our eagle, but both our colors and stuff to do. I'm going to start on Martyr here over Guild Mage. Martyr is the one we wouldn't mind dying more, so start there. Probably just throw out the eagle next turn unless we come up with something that we really want to banish. Peggy Sue. Ooh. I like that instead of the eagle here. We're going to offer, of course, the vampire martyr here for either of those. They're not going to accept, but we'll offer. And I'll go ahead and play this as a better 3-drop in this situation. Tactician is nice. Link for 18. Where's 18? There's 18. Pridemate has no life gain to grow it yet. Volpakit, interesting. Gonna drop this land, then see what's up. We could spend a turn tapping for a couple, and then throw down like the Guild Mage and tap 2. With 4 mana, we could also hardcast Volpakit. I don't like that. We could banish the Pegasus. I think for right now, I'm gonna Guild Mage and tap on their turn. Here I'm going to tap, I think, the Law Rune and the Pegasus. Obviously, if they want to send the Pridemate into this ground force, we're fine with that. And tapping the Law Rune means they don't get to tap something on our turn. And sure, they can tap in response here, but both Martyr and Bugler are happy blocks on the Pridemate, so it doesn't really matter what they tap. Long-term advantage hurt there. Well, let's just throw Volpakit on the Martyr and make him have something, I think. We could also... Yeah, we can't really two-spell here. We could make a big Conjurant. That's another option. Or, I do want to banish... We're going to have to banish this Pegasus eventually, I think. Or the Law Rune. Like, if we move in and make something huge, the Law Rune just gets work to do, right? Yeah, let's just make a big Conjurant here. I like that. That's fine. Start with an attack, though. Big Kanji. Then we do get the Vulpikeep play on Conjurant. Unless that happens. But it makes me glad we didn't move in on Mutate yet. By the way, like, we're talking about, I was saying Blood Curdle didn't seem like it was very good to me, and this is the kind of removal that seems good to me. Got the Of One Mind play here. Let's start there. Probably going to banish that spawn now, actually. Interesting. Mike has a line that no longer matters, but it was interesting to note that if you put the Conjurant on top of a Mutate pile and it has the cast X and therefore wouldn't be able to be tapped. What are we doing here, though? I feel like maybe we're just trying to get our Air Force going. I can just... Yeah, I'm going to play the Guard Mage, actually. Let's work towards... Eagle getting us up in the air, and then not worry about the spawn quite yet. Ooh, Baffling End is great because we can get rid of this or the Enforcer. We have double removal now for some problem cards. We can banish the spawn and end the Enforcer. Ooh, Dismissal is interesting as well. We can kind of set back this whole Pegasus thing. And we can mutate onto the Amass token. That's what I like to do with the Vulpikeep in this spot. So that leaves... We triple spell. What do we want to do here? So much to do. 6 mana. Can't triple spell off of 6 mana. So we could double spell and do our 3s. You like banishing the spawn and dismissing? What do you want to dismiss? The Pegasus? Yeah, we could hold Dismissal, but Dismissal gets us a Vulpikeep going next turn even. Yeah, I hear about resetting the Pride Mate, but I like Mike's line. I like this line because it sets us up to mutate onto an army token. We want to play Eagle when we have an Air Force we're going to attack with. Now, let's let him do some Law Rune tapping before we make any further decisions. And yeah, let's banish the spawn. Oh, did I even see they had that? It's a tempo play. I didn't... When did they get that? How did we see that? It looked like that was exposed in the hand, but I don't even know how we knew that. We could put the zombie army underneath the Volpakit, or, you know, to make a 2/2 that can't be tapped. That seems maybe fancy play here, though. We're just going to use Baffling End on the Enforcer to get our stuff through. Only one to tap, so they could deploy this Sentinel's Eyes onto something and still tap. Everything coming up Millhouse now, so we're going to let him tap. We'll seal away the Law Rune, and then we get to Baffling End the Pride Mate instead. But I think we still want to start on the Keat, right? Do we get... yeah, let's see, wait. We don't have... Yeah, let's do Baffling End now, sure. Now we'll let him do some... Oh, they don't want to tap. Interesting. Interesting, no tap. So... I'll offer the Martyr. This one has Vigilance anyway, and we have Seal Away. I don't think we're at risk of dying, are we? We have this on defense if we desperately need to. I'm going to send all three. Well, now I kind of like Tactician, although really, yeah, because they might not even give us a target for Seal Away before we untap. Let's do Tactician. Looks like Hannah's going for some life gain synergies that haven't connected. Hannah hasn't found any of the life gain to trigger all this stuff. Now, though, let's go ahead and drop our Eagle so that we can show some air strength. And let's go, yeah, let's go ahead and move in here. We'll Volpakit on the army token. And again, we could go under, and then we'd have a 2/2 that couldn't be tapped. But that's fancy play. Let's just get the big thing. They can tap it, but that's all right. Oh, I thought it would be a 2/2. Could send in the martyr. If they want to block the martyr and go to 1, that's fine. Right, buff from the eagle, thank you. That's where the point I was missing was from. And we're just trying to figure out if we risk dying here. I don't think so. So yeah, I'm gonna send in with everything. I think blocking the martyr and going to 1 is a pretty big play, so we'll let that happen if they want to. Basically, the new set always launches for the general public the day after the streamer preview. Sounds like the streamer preview's on the 24th. Yeah, that's interesting, Mike. We could have actually made it a 4/4 that can attack through the Bloodlord. I think it's all a little bit fiddly in terms of that, but that's I missed out on 2 extra points of power and toughness for the idea of the zombie army on top. The reason you put the zombie army on top is that the Law Rune Enforcer can't tap it. I'm locked into preview streams. They always offer them to me now. I guess if I did something that Wizards really didn't like, maybe they would take me off the list, but I'm on the list. 5-1. All right. Well, is my final opponent around? I wouldn't mind wrapping up with one more to get the clean 7, but I don't know who all was in the event. Looks like Tranel it is. Should we just start calling him Tefori? We'll keep this. Maybe we'll just drop a sprite on 2 here. Congrats, Tron. That's awesome. All right, so we can do this and have a baffling end or dismissal up. Sprite, I don't know. Get on board with the 2/1 and start going, or hold up for the glare. I'm going to hold up for the glare. Is that greedy? It's a little bit more control-y here, but I really want to... We got this in our opening hand. Let's counter a 3-drop. Yeah, in this case, I'm going to take 3 and look to counter their next action. If they don't counter anything, we've wasted our turn, but then they've wasted theirs, potentially. Ugh. So I guess we wasted our turn. Let's see if they wasted theirs. They didn't waste theirs if they have an instant, is the thing. Now I like... Bounce the Hound. What am I doing here? I don't want to go Hypnotic Sprite again. That's too dangerous. I think we need to do something to threaten this Hound. So that either means Guard Mage or Dismiss. I think I'm going to go with Dismissal. Because then it creates a 1/1 token that also can block the Hound. And we still have Syncopate up in case they tap out for something. So we hope that they tap out for something and then have a nice Syncopate. Fire Prophecy. Okay. We're gonna let that happen. Not that we could stop it, but I wouldn't stop it even if we could have. Alright. Not the best, not the worst, though. We have Baffling End now. and then we can hold up our counter magic. So I like that. Snap that off. And now with a land, we have Guard Mage with Syncopate backup. And with them stuck on land, the Syncopate should still be good. So we're going to go Guard Mage and try and snap off with the Syncopate. All right, too bad. They can pay. Too bad. I was looking forward to drawing some cards finally off this mission, but looks like we get to get something anyway. We'll take care of that. Ooh, Bugler is now our play. I was going to Eternal Sprite, but I like Bugler. Looking for action. Nah, another whiff on the Bugler. That's 2 whiffs. We're on a mission. Unfortunately, I need 4 blue to do all of this stuff, but maybe we'll find an island off the reconnaissance mission draw here. Send it all. Yeah, we'll just eagle here. That was a good play for them, but we look to be just pedal to the metal here. That looks good. We're going to sail away. We're going to hardcast Vulpikeet. We're going to hardcast... Oh, actually, I want to do it this way, though. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the Keet. No, on the Keet. Add a Sprite. And we even have Sailor coming up. Sir Conrad, the grimness is looking grim for you, though, buddy. Bunch of flyers. Let's go ahead and draw, though. Draw 5. I get it, Mike, but I was thinking we might find something that we would want to play before combat. Like, we could have found Tactician and tapped, you know? That's what I was thinking. And here I'm going to hold up Negate and just drop a Ministrant and hold Negate. Aw, Mike is so sad. No triple spell. Well, David, we ended up with both anyway, so you might have wheeled the reconnaissance mission as well. Oh, here I can come back for this. We'll just say no blocks. Sure. Rub it in, Ryan, rub it in. Yeah, I could have tapped it and done it again. Yeah, I missed out on the extra rub-ins. You're right, Avatar, sorry. Well, you snuck in one, chat. But maybe you're getting it all out of the way, because the 2-day running total here is 12-1 me. But tomorrow is where it's all on the line. We have been doing some cube work. I think I'll do a little more cube work before we sign off, but I need a short break and we need to say goodbye to our friends from YouTube viewing. Thanks for hanging out for that one, YouTube friends. Hope you enjoyed it. And we're going to get some more cube coming, I bet, with the Magic the Gathering Arena cube about to debut. We'll copy that and do some events with that coming up. But that was a lot of fun. Thank you for all the games, chat, the good sportsmanship, and all that good stuff. Thank you, chat, on YouTube. We'll see you. Oh, like me, follow, all that stuff, right? Yeah, do that.